I'm Damon Sly. I was a co-founder of Dynamics. When I was there, I built 15 games, including Aces of the Pacific, Aces over Europe, A-10 Tank Killer, Mech Warrior. But among all the games I designed when I was there, Red Baron was my favorite. So I left Dynamics to pursue other interests, including getting my pilot's license. I think the reason I became a pilot was because I had built all these flight games. I got really fascinated with it. I wanted to know what it was like. And I bought a Bonanza A36, and I flew it up and down the skies of the West Coast. Had a lot of great memories, flying over Crater Lake, over the Golden Gate Bridge. It was great, and I really loved it. I ended up selling my Bonanza to start a new game company because I had realized over time that I really like to fly, but I love making games more. We're Mad Otter Games. We're a small indie studio in Eugene, Oregon. We're indie because we want to be indie, and because we want to build games that people want to play. The original Red Baron that we released in 1990, it was well designed. I think there was a lot of belief back then that you had to either make a hardcore flight simulator or you had to make a stupid arcade game. But Red Baron was, no, we're going to make something that's historically authentic and is fun to play at the same time. We want to make a new immersive experience where we're going to take advantage of quad-core CPUs, amazing graphics card with shaders, and the connectivity that comes with the internet where you can reach your audience right away, and build a game that is absolutely the most immersive dogfighting experience you can have on your PC. Red Baron hits the sweet spot between simulation and game dead on. It will be easy to play, easy to learn to fly, but at the same time there's going to be a complex simulation running under the hood, but we're going to hide that with the interface from a new player so they're not overwhelmed. They're going to learn these complexities at their own pace and develop more advanced strategies. I think more than anything, Red Baron is a time machine that will bring the greatest era of dogfighting onto your PC. A lot of simulations are focused on creating documental realism, where every needle and gauge and every number is just right, but you want to simulate the game inside the mind of the player.
It's a likeness to reality. One example, giving the actual aces that you fight against, say Manfred von Richthofen, giving him a personality that sort of matches his historical personality. I mean, that's a sort of verisimilitude, a sort of realism, but it's not a verisimilitude as far as the playing goes. It's sort of part of that whole experience of the game. So, for example, he didn't like doing loops. He thought those were stupid. So we can set the AI up so that he won't do loops.
The key in Red Baron 1 was that it was an open campaign. We didn't have a linear scripted story. The player would choose their own path through the war, so they're going to the squadrons they want and recruiting other famous pilots, other aces from the war, and also flying against other aces from the war on the other side. And so that's what we're going to carry over into the new Red Baron. The sorties, the missions are randomly generated, and that means that every time they play through the campaign system, it can be different. They don't know where they're going to be. So that creates challenge, which is more authentic because the real pilots didn't know exactly where the enemies were waiting for them. It's important to show the career of the pilot, not just when they're in the plane flying, but what happens in between the missions is really important. In the new Red Baron, we're also going to have multiplayer, and that's going to be a key component so that you can get online anytime, day or night, 24/7, and play with or against your friends.
I think the high-level goal that we're really excited about is that it places the player in one ace and one plane in the midst of a large-scale, constantly progressing war. So MOBA is multiplayer online battle arena, and it's something we're really excited about because we're going to take that to the skies. So the player gets in there and they don't have to choose to let these tanks go here or let this squadron go here. They just get to control themselves, and they get to focus on what's fun about flying a plane. They get to focus on dogfighting, strategies, teamwork, stuff like that. They can do reconnaissance, they can do scouting, they can complete map objectives, collect research, and it causes the mode and the match to constantly be moving forward. Every tick of the clock makes the game more exciting, more intense, more action-oriented.
The matches will last about 30 minutes. They're going to be designed to maximize gameplay. Primarily, you're going to be trying to clear the sky of the enemy fighters and destroy their base, but we've got some other secret types planned as well.
The hangar is this is the first thing you see when you enter the game. It's the last thing you see when you leave. And one of the design reasons for that is because we want the hangar to be like a part of your player, be a part of you. As soon as you load in, like, yeah, you see your menus and all that, but in the background you see your planes and you see your squadron symbol and you see your medals of all the battles that you won on the wall. Inside of the hangar, you start getting new planes, you start getting new cosmetics, you start getting new technologies and such, and a lot of this is involved in the tech tree. The tech tree is basically a like virtual representation of the years of the war. As you progress through the war, different years come along, you unlock new technologies, you unlock new planes, and those planes are then populated into your hangar.
It's something that really encompasses the whole career of your pilot, from young cadet to potentially the ace of aces.
So then once you have the planes in your hangar, then you can start like colorizing them, you can add your own insignia, you can add your squadron symbols.
And then showing what's going on historically as a backdrop. You know, like Bloody April, that was a period where the Allies were just getting kicked out of the sky. It was terrible. So they're like, give us an airplane where we can compete. Our newspapers will come out and say, oh, this new airplane has been released and our pilots now have it. And it will affect your career at that moment. And we're gamers, so we know what we like, and we think we know what the players want. You know, we're here for the art. We're here for the creation of it.
The art of Red Baron is trying to be evocative of some of the paintings that we looked at a lot during our initial concepts. Bill Phillips, Robert Taylor were some of our big ones. We're really trying to capture the spirit of some of the original magic of the first game, except bring it up to modern game specifications. I'm working on some of the environments for Red Baron right now. These will be some of the first few levels that might be in our alpha build of the game. Really trying to focus on creating believable maps, but ones that still push our art goals.
We wanted to go for like something that's beyond realism. It's just feeling like you're actually in this emotion rather than just a location. You're in a feeling.
When I left Dynamics, I let go of Red Baron, and I never thought I would see it again. And ownership of Red Baron changed hands 5 times. Out of the blue, somebody came up to me and said, Damon, do you want the rights to Red Baron back? And I was stunned. And I felt like I let go of Red Baron to fly off into the universe, and like some strange, crazy boomerang, it came flying back to me in the shape of a Red Fokker triplane. That's really how I feel. It's bizarre. For an indie developer like us, crowdfunding is awesome, because we can go right to the players that we know that we want to build a product for. Before, we would work really hard for a year or 2 years and put the product out and just cross our fingers and hope we got it right. I think we can only get to the best possible product with the gamers helping us get there. We're going to listen to you, the community, and build the game that you want to see built. As the game comes out into alpha and beta, we can start getting your feedback and having your input into the game and closing the loop. It's the joy of creation, and it's about making something better and better. And we really want to get Red Baron out and bring it back to where it should be. I mean, Red Baron is one of a kind. It was the best dogfighting game of its time, and it'll be the best dogfighting game again.